continuation of Kanauj. So Harshavardhana, he conquered the Makauri kingdom under having Kanauj as the capital. He conquered the Makauri kingdom, and he shifted the capital from Staneshwar to Kanauj. Makauri had the capital of Kanauj. Then he later conquered Bengal, Bihar, Assam, Rajasthan, and Gujarat, and defeated the Dhruvasena of Gujarat. ధ్రువసేన వాళ్ళ అల్లుడి పేరు వచ్చి ధ్రువదత్త. ధ్రువసేన, he conquered Dhruvasena of Gujarat. Then he occupied Orissa, and he donated 80 cities. He donated 80 cities to the Buddhist monk Jayasena. He donated Harsha, he embraced Mahayana Buddhism kada. So he donated 80 cities to the Buddhist monk Jayasena. Then he united all the territories and he established a huge kingdom. Then Huang Sang visited India during Harsha's reign in 629. In 629, Huang Sang, he visited India during Harsha's reign. Battle of Narmada ane దాని పేరు, బ్యాటిల్ ఆఫ్ నర్మదా బిట్వీన్ పులకేసిన్ II and హర్షవర్ధన. Okay. Huan Sang visited India during Harsha's reign in 622 AD. He was given a very favorable account of the king of Harsha on his empire. He gave a very favorable account about King Harsha and his empire. Huan Sang, he praises his generosity and his justice. Okay, he praises his generosity and his justice. His work, Huan Sang's work, is Siyuki, which means experiences of a traveler. Then Siyuki is also called as records of Western world. Siyuki is also called as records of Western world. And Huan Sang, in his book, he also mentions about Magadha. Okay, he says that scented paddy was grown. Wow, in Magadha scented paddy was grown in Magadha అని చెప్తున్నారనమాట. Scented paddy was grown in Magadha. And then he also mentioned that crops were produced in just 20 days. Crops are produced in 60 days are grown. 60 డేస్లో క్రాప్ నిచ్చే ప్రొడ్యూస్ నిచ్చే క్రాప్స్ ఆర్ గ్రోన్ అని చెప్తున్నాడంట హువాన్ సాంగ్. హీ మెన్షన్స్ అబౌట్ మగధ, హీ మెన్షన్స్ అబౌట్ హర్షాస్ జనరాసిటీ అండ్ హిస్ జస్టిస్, అండ్ హీ ఆల్సో మెన్షన్స్ అబౌట్ ది సెంటెడ్ ప్యాడీ, అండ్ ఇక్కడ గ్రో చేసే క్రాప్స్ అని 60 డేస్లో పెరిగిపోతున్నాయని చెప్పాడు హువాన్ సాంగ్. దెన్ అపార్ట్ ఫ్రమ్ ప్యాడీ, వీట్, షుగర్ కేన్ క్రాప్స్ ఆర్ ఆల్సో ప్రొడ్యూస్డ్, విచ్ ఇస్ ఆల్సో మెన్షన్డ్ బై బాణభట్ట. బాణభట్ట హర్ష చరిత్రలో ఏం మెన్షన్ చేశారు, అపార్ట్ ఫ్రమ్ ప్యాడీ, వీట్ అండ్ షుగర్ కేన్ వాస్ ఆల్సో గ్రోన్ అని చెప్పి బాణభట్ట హర్ష చరిత్రలో మెన్షన్ చేశారు. అండ్ హువాన్ సాంగ్ బయోగ్రఫీ ఈస్ ఆథర్డ్ బై హ్యూ లీ. Then Harsha was a great patron of arts. Harsha was a great patron of arts. Then he himself was an accomplished writer. Harsha, he himself was an accomplished writer. He is credited with the Sanskrit works of Ratnavali, Priyadarshika and Nagananda. Then Banabhatta was his court poet. And he composed Harsha Charita, which gives us an account of Harsha's life and his deeds. The other works of Banabhatta are Parvati Parinayam and Kadambari. Then Mayura, another poet named Mayura was also there during his time, and Mayura had composed Astika and Surya Sataka. Astika and Surya Sataka. Then Harsha generously supported the Nalanda University. Then in education wise, Nalanda University became famous during the period of Harsha, and he was a great patron of education. And Huan Sang, a Buddhist traveler, in his book Siyuki, he had told that Nalanda University accommodated 10,000 people with free education. This is too good. Then it had said that, in Siyuki, Huan Sang said that Nalanda University accommodated 10,000 people with free education. Then he had Harsha, he also had a good tax structure. Okay, he had a good tax structure. 1/4 of all the taxes which were collected were used for charity. They were used for charity and for cultural purposes. 1/4 tax collect చేసిన taxes లో compulsory 1/4 of the taxes were used for charity and cultural purposes. Then Harsha was a competent military conqueror and he was also an able administrator. He was a competent military conqueror and an able administrator. Harsha was the last king to rule over the vast empire in India before the invasions by Muslims. He was the last king to be ruling the such a huge extent of India before the conquest of the Muslims. Then welfare activities done by Harsha was he created a welfare state. After Ashoka, after Ashoka, Harsha created a welfare state, that is top priority is given to the poor. Top priority was given to the poor people. Then free hospitals were constructed to the poor people. Dharmashalas, that is food for the poor. Free hospitals, free food, that is dharmashalas were constructed. Free food for the poor people. Then lakas were lakes, sorry, lakes were constructed, roads were constructed, and for every 5 years at Prayaga he held a ceremony called Maha Moksha Parishad. Prayaga ante the confluence of Ganga and Yamuna. So for every 5 years at Prayaga he held the ceremony called Maha Moksha Parishad. It is a distribution of wealth. Maha Moksha Parishad, which is a distribution of wealth. Wealth and distribute చేసేవాళ్ళు. So an important welfare activity was Mahamoksha Parishad, which was a distribution of wealth for every 5 years. This was held at Prayaga, Allahabad. Prayaga is Triveni Sangamam, Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati. So in this Mahamoksha Parishad, Harsha donates his entire wealth. In all the 5 years, whatever he has, Harsha donates everything. Then say ఏమేమి free hospitals, dharmashalas, free food, lakes and roads, and Mahamoksha Parishad at Prayaga, whatever wealth he had, he distributes. So in 643 CE, a grand assembly called Kanauj Assembly was formed. A grand assembly in 643, a grand assembly called Kanauj Assembly was formed, which is a parliament. Kanauj Assembly ante enti, it is a parliament of all the religions. It is a parliament of all religions. So Harsha organized a religious assembly at Kanauj to honor the Chinese pilgrim Huan Sang. Okay, to first to in this sabha ఏమంటే ఎందుకు ఆర్గనైజ్ చేశారు కనౌజ్ అసెంబ్లీ అని చెప్తున్నారు. ఇట్ ఈస్ అ పార్లమెంట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ ద రిలీజియన్స్. హీ హ్యాడ్ ఆర్గనైజ్ దిస్ assembly to honor the Chinese pilgrim Huan Sang and to propagate the doctrines of Mahayana Buddhism, and for participation of the people from many religions into this assembly. And in this sabha there was a golden statue of Buddha was made. Wow, in Kanauj assembly a golden statue of Buddha was made. So president of this assembly was Huan Sang. So president of this Kanauj assembly was Huan Sang. So this was attended by 20 kings and 4,000 monks. This Kanauj assembly was attended by 20 kings and 4,000 monks. In this parishad they had decided to propagate Buddhism, and it is believed Harsha got teeth of Buddhism which are in Kashmir. It is believed Harsha got teeth of Buddha, okay, which are in Kashmir. Teeth of Buddha teeth ఉంటుంది కదా, Harsha has got it which are in Kashmir. Then Harsha constructed the Lakshmana temple in సిర్పూర్లో ఉన్న లక్ష్మణ టెంపుల్ని కన్స్ట్రక్ట్ చేశాడు. See, in the same way there was an Allahabad assembly also was held. So this Harsha gave away his enormous wealth as gifts to the members of all the religious sects. Okay, Kanauj assembly, Allahabad assembly was the Maha Moksha Parishad was the Allahabad assembly. Then Harsha constructed the Lakshmana temple in Sirpur. Then Harsha issued 3 inscriptions. Harsha had issued 3 inscriptions, that is Madhuban plate, then Sonpet Sonpat plate, and Madhuban plate, Sonpat plate, and Bankera inscription, which are immensely valuable. So these three inscriptions are immensely valuable, which were made by Harsha, that is Madhuban plate, Sonpat plate, and Bankera inscriptions. Then Madhuban plate speaks much on the family of Harsha. Madhuban plate speaks about family of Harsha. The Sonpat plate discloses, or it tells about the names and the reign of many kings of the dynasty. The Sonpat plate talks about the names and the reigns of the many kings of his dynasty. The Madhuban plate talks about family of Harsha, and the Bankera copper plate inscription, we find the signature of Harsha. We find signature of Harshavardhana. He is as Swahasto Mama Maharajadiraja Sri Harshasya. Swahasto means Swahasta also signature అని చెప్పడం. So Bankera inscription, copper plate inscription finds in which we find signature of Harshavardhana saying Swahasto Mama Maharajadiraja Sri Harshasya. So meaning of this meaning is, this is the signature of me, the great king of the kings, Sri Harsha. Then during his reign, the Nalanda University flourished, and for the first time Harsha introduced entrance exams to enroll into the university. Wow. And for the first time Harsha introduced entrance exams to enter in, for the entrance into the entrance exam to enroll into the university. అండ్ ఇంకోటి ఏం చెప్పారంటే, ద నలంద యూనివర్సిటీ హ్యాడ్ temples and monasteries were used as the centers of education. Temples and monasteries, okay. Nalanda University had an enrollment of 90,000 students. దాంతో 10,000 పీపుల్కి ఫ్రీ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇచ్చారని హుయాన్సాంగ్ చెప్పాడు. అండ్ అప్పట్లోనే హర్ష హ్యాడ్ గివెన్ అవుట్ 100 villages in donation to this university. 100 villages had been given to as donation to this university. And Dharmapala, Chandrapala, and Sailendra were the important teachers who got royal patronage. Dharmapala, Chandrapala, and Sailendra were the important teachers who got the royal patronage. So among those who received royal patronage, mention may be made about Bhatrihari, Jayasena, Divakara, and Mahanaga also. Bhatrihari, Jayasena, Divakara, and Mahanaga also. Then Chinese pilgrim Huansang reported in great detail about India in the days of Harsha. So he spent 13 years in India, and 8 of those 13 years in Harsha's realm. Wow. In 8 years he was present in మొత్తం హుయాన్సాంగ్ వచ్చి 13 years ఇండియాలో ఉంటే 8 years he spent in Harsha's realm only. Then the division of the empire administration. The empire of Harsha was divided into Desa. Desa was the largest territorial unit, Desam. Then the subdivisions were Bhukti, that is province, Vishaya district, and Gramas, villages. Then it was king's representative who governed the Desha. It was the king's representative, Aryaputras type unnaru kada, that who governed the Deshas. And Vishayapati was the officer in charge of Vishaya. Gramadhyaksha was the head of Gramas, and there were Pustapalas and Lekakas. Pustapalas and Lekakas ante writer, Pustapalas ante who could read. They were Pustapalas and Lekakas in villages. So writers, Lekakas ante scribes laga anartham, who could write. There were also Adhyakshas who acted as general superintendent. There were also Adhyakshas who acted as superintendents, SPs laga anamata, in villages. Karanis assisted the Karanis assisted the Gramadhyakshas in villages. Then about revenue. Then Harsha collected 1/6 of the produce as the land tax. 1/6 of the produce was the land tax, Bhaga. So there are references to three kinds of taxes, that is Bhaga, Hiranya and Bali. Bali and Bhaga we already know, and Hiranya was the other kind of tax. Three kinds of taxes Bali, Bhaga and Hiranya. Bhaga was the land tax. Hiranya refers to those taxes paid by the farmers or by merchants, and Bhaga vachi land tax, and Hiranya was the taxes that were paid by farmers or merchants. It is difficult to say which particular tax was known as Bali. Okay, so on the whole the taxation was very light. Then generally officials received the grants of lands instead of salaries. Officials they received lands as the grants instead of salaries. And then next comes judicial administration. So the king was the supreme head of justice. No, just wait. Before judicial administration, we read about economy and society. Wait, just economy గురించి ఒక్క పాయింట్ ఉంది. From La Excellence, the trade and commerce, it had declined during Harsha's period. Okay, because this is evident from the decline of the trading centers and less number of coins and slow activities in the merchant guilds. So the trade and commerce అనేది it had declined during the Harsha's period. This is evident from trading centers. There was a decline in the trading centers. There was slow activities in the traders guilds, and the less number of coins, the foreign coins ఏమో. Okay. Then judicial administration. The king was the supreme head of the justice. Then Huang Sang tells us that criminals and rebels were very few, because when the laws were broken, the offenders were punished. When laws were broken, the offenders were punished, so the criminals and rebels were very few. The usual punishments were imprisonment for life and banishment from the empire and the mutilation of limbs. The usual punishments were life imprisonment kani, banishment or mutilation of the limbs. Then roads were less safe compared to the Gupta period. This we need to remember. Roads were less safe compared to the Guptan period. Okay, Huang Sang himself was captured by robbers not far from the capital. Yuan Chang was captured by robbers not far from capital. It was only luck that saved his life and చెప్తారు. Then the society during Harsha's period was the fourfold division of the Varna was present. Fourfold or the Varnashram, that is Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Sudras were very much prevalent. The Brahmins were the most privileged section of the society, and they were given the land grants by the kings. Brahmins were given land grants by the kings. Then the position, land grants Brahmins ki ichchevalu, officials ki instead of salary kuda land grants ichchevalu. Then the position of the women, it was not satisfactory. The institution of the Swayamvara had declined. The choice of choosing her husband, the Swayamvara had declined. Then remarriage of the widows also was not permitted, particularly among the higher caste. And then the sati system also had prevailed. Then the system of dowry had also become very much common. So all this is in the Gupta's period also it was nearly the same. Then Huang Sang mentions 3 ways of disposal of the dead, either cremation ఒకటి or వాటర్లో బరీ చేయడం. శాతవాహనాలో కూడా దాంతో వాళ్ళు చూడు వాటర్లో ఒక షిప్ పైన పెట్టి దాంతో అలానే చూపిస్తారు వాటర్ బరియల్. ఒక చిన్న బోట్ లాగా చేసి దాని మీద శవాన్ని పెట్టి దాంతో పంపించేస్తారు అనమాట. గౌతమిపుత్ర శాతకర్ణి మూవీలో ఉంది అది. So 3 ways of disposal was either cremation or water burials or exposure in the woods. Exposure of the body in the woods to the wild animals, and whatever there are the remains, they will bury them. So ఇలాంటిది ఒకటి ఉంది. So some important features of the age of Gupta from 7th century AD from the all-in-one. Okay, to some extent the political unity of India was restored after the Guptas. Literature and philosophy was developed much during this time. So he patronized scholars like Bhanapatta, who wrote Harshacharita, Kadambari, and Jayasena. He was a man of learning. Jayasena was also a very important man of learning. Huan Sang visited India in 630 AD and he remained till 643 AD. Then Peshawar, Takshila and Patliputra were in ruins, and Kanauj, Prayag and Varanasi were prominent, as written by Huang Sang. Huang Sang రాసిన దాని ప్రకారం పెషావర్ ఇంతకుముందు ఫేమస్గా ఉన్న పెషావర్, టక్షీలా అండ్ పాట్లిపుత్ర దే వర్ ఇన్ రూయిన్స్, అండ్ కనౌజ్, Prayaga and Varanasi, all these are in Uttar Pradesh. They were very much in prominence, written by Huang Sang. The famous Hindu gods of this age were Shiva and Vishnu and sun god Shiva and Vishnu. The society was clearly, it was divided into 4 varnas: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. Condition of women: there was no parda in the higher caste, there was a prevalence of child marriages, no widow remarriage, and prevalence of sati system. That is Harsha's own mother, she died of sati. Harsha's own mother died of sati. Then female education was very much restricted to only the higher castes. Then people were well educated. The Nalanda was the first most important center of learning. Besides this, there were other centers of learning like Takshila was there. Important centers of learning were Takshila, Ujjaini, Kanchi, Vallabhi, Vikramashila. Then Takshila was also very much renowned for its medical school. అప్పట్లో టక్షీలా ఇట్ వాజ్ వెరీ మచ్ రినౌండ్ ఫర్ మెడికల్ స్కూల్. టక్షీలా, ఉజ్జయిని, కంచి, Vallabhi in Gujarat and Vikramashila were also important centers of learning. Then death of Harshavardhana was in 647 AD. It makes the ancient Indian history come to an end. Death of Harsha makes in 1647 makes the ancient Indian history come to an end. Chinese traveler It Sing, Itsing, It Sing in 675 to 685, he made reference about the ancient Buddhism during this period. Then history between 647 and 750 AD is missing due to the lack of literary and archaeological sources. History between 647 and 750 AD, a period of 100 years of history between 650 and 750 AD is missing due to lack of literary and archaeological sources. Then Harsha's death ఎలా జరిగింది? Harsha died in 647 after ruling for 41 years. Since he died without any heirs, because his 2 sons were killed by his own minister, his empire it disintegrated very soon after his death. After his death, the history of North India it slipped into oblivion. The history of North India slipped into oblivion. The period between 650 and 750 was a mere mystery. So here he is considered as a great last king of Northern India. The last great king of Northern India ga consider చేస్తారు. After him the last great ruler was Yashovarman. After Harshavardhana, the last great king ruler was Yashovarman. Then during his time, Bhavabhuti compiled this book, that is Uttara Rama. During the time of Yashovarma, Bhavabhuti అనే ఒక స్కాలర్ he compiled these 3 books, that is Uttara Ramacharitra, Malati Madhavan and Mahavira Charitra. So in the court of Yashovarman, Vakapati Raju wrote Gauda Vaho, which talks about Shashanka Gauda's death. Gauda Vaho, గౌడ శశాంకస్ డెత్ గురించి మాట్లాడేది ఏది? వాకపతి రాజు రాసిన గౌడ వాహో అనే బుక్, who was in Yashovarman's court. It talks about Vakapati Raju wrote Gauda Vaho, which talks about Gauda Shashanka's death. So Yashovarman authored Ramabudayam. So there are 2 court poets in the court of Yashovarman. ఒకటేమో భావభూతి, ఇంకోటేమో వాకపతి రాజు. Then Bhavabhuti he also authored Malati Madhavam, Uttara Ramacharitra and Mahavira Charitram. Gauda Shashanka he destroyed the Bodhi tree. According to Chinese sources, after Harsha, Arunasura. According to the Chinese sources, after Harsha, Arunasura అనే అతను he had ascended to the throne, who was an usurper. Arunasura అంటేనే usurper. So Arunasura has ascended the throne, who was an usurper. Then Yang Yangzi was an official sent by the Chinese emperor who defeated He was an official. Wang Yuanxi was an official sent by the Chinese emperor who defeated Arunasura and had taken Arunasura as prisoner. So chronological order of the Chinese travelers are: first Fa Hian had come, then Huang Sang, then Wang Yangxi, he was an official, then Itzing. Itzing only had said about made about the reference of ancient Buddhism in this period.